I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey. Once upon a time, there was a little girl.
The accident was over a year ago. A second woman has been elected president. A 12th planet has been named in the solar system. The last wild polar bear has died. I slept through it all. I was here for my waking. He called it a beginning. He said it was good. I think you may have thought that anything I did was good.
Welcome to Transition Radi Show. I'm your host, Mark Angelo Cummings.
And good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Transition Radio. And I love that music. It's the love that saves us. And that is the only thing that will save us, good people. Love, unconditional love, loving ourselves, loving each other, loving our wonderful creator, mother, father, who is desperately trying to reach us all, whispering with her and his gentle ways. But I have good hopes and dreams that we will all finally get there. I want to take this time to thank all of you. Thank you, Dottie, so much for your support and your love. Scott, brother, I love you so much. Fifth World, thank you so much for joining me this morning. True Luck, I appreciate you with all my heart and soul. And let me tell you guys, I can't wait to hit the road. I'm going to start the journey in July when the lease is up here, and I'm going to be living out of my little Prius, which is actually a pretty good little traveling vehicle. It's got like a temperature control thing where you set it so if it's cold, the heater will stay at whatever temperature and the car goes on and off. Actually only wasting like half a gallon to a gallon, which is only like $3, when beats any hotel, right? And it's great on gas mileage for, I get up to like 55. I've gotten up to 60 miles per gallon before. So I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to meeting you all and just sharing moments with you guys. I mean, that means the world to me. You just don't know how much it does. It's a healing. It's a comfort that I feel that we all need. And I can't put it in words, but I can't wait. That's all I'm going to say about that. For those of you who did not watch yesterday's video that Lena and I made, Lena and I are going our separate ways. We've been trying to make this work for quite a while now, and it's not lack of love because we both love each other dearly. However, we are very different in so many different ways, and not judging because different doesn't mean one's better than the other. I hold her very dear in my heart, and although she thinks she wasn't contributing to the show, I always thought she did. But this is not her passion, and she's got to find her passion, and she's got to heal, and she needs to try to make this connection with those little kiddos that mean the world to her. So thank you all for having supported us as a couple, and I appreciate you both for supporting us as separate individuals. And I have a lot of great things that I want to put out there, and I need you guys' help and support. I know that many of you don't understand a lot of the trans issues, but I truly believe that it's an important factor that we all need to be very aware of, because unbeknownst to many of you, you're probably going to have either a grandkid, a kid, a neighbor, a friend who will have a child or an adult going through these gender confusions. And in my heart, that's all it is a confusion. The medical community is taking advantage of it and is drugging people, and it's creating all sorts of surgeries for people to try to alter their biology, which we know that it is all cosmetic and it's all causing health issues for everyone. It's taken away a lot of women's rights. We're seeing a lot of things taking place, and I want to be able to bring that to you in a gentle but loving way so that we could all be on the same page, so we could all understand this. It's a passion of mine because I used to rally the other way, and I've done it to myself, and this is what I've got now. And I don't regret it because it's helped me grow leaps and bounds. But I want to be that other voice. I want to be that other voice of reasoning. So if I could help one person prevent from going through this needlessly, then I want to be able to do that. So enough about that. I do have an article, and I'll probably just have like a little trans corner in my morning show and in my evening show, most likely, to reach out to people, to always try to plant seeds gently and effectively. So let's see, I think I had some new people joining me. We've got Mr. Bodangles. Good morning, Mr. Bodangle. Thank you for joining us. And got Stephanie Allen, lifting you and Lynn in love and prayer, wishing for the best for both. Thank you, Stephanie Allen. Appreciate you with all my heart and soul. And Scott says, wishing you nothing but the best. Lots of love for the two of you. Thank you, Scott. I mean, you mean the world to me. All of you do. You just don't realize how much. It's like this interconnection that goes beyond this fleshy meat suit. It's spirit. It's spirit that recognizes its tribe. It's like I recognize you. I see every single one of you. I really, truly do. And we need each other. I mean, we need to build each other up, heal each other, raise ourselves so that we could complete the mission that we've set out for us to do here. And Danny Flo, good morning, Danny. Thank you for joining us. And let's see, anybody else that I've missed? I don't want to miss anyone. You're all very important. And again, during the show, if you guys feel the need to call, need to say something, want to ask a question, and you don't want to ask on chat, but rather have your voice be heard, let me go ahead and put the number up here for you guys. Let's see here, go through. Well, let me read what Fifth Girl said. I personally think we're all transfiguring, preparing to transfigure completely. At some point, we will be an androgynous. And I totally believe that. That's why I feel strongly about the name of the show, Transition Radio. It's not about trans things. It's transitioning as a human species. We are going through a massive change from Homo sapien to Homo luminous. And in that Homo luminous, there's androgyny because you can't have one without the other. In my humble opinion, you need both the yin and the yang. And what did I do with the number? Let's see here. Dottie says, yet back to our true spiritual selves. Totally. That's how we all started. The problem lies when we become too attached to one part and throw off the balance. And hence, that's what I see the danger in the trans community is throwing that balance off, totally. Okay, so let me go to the first article that I have set up for today. I believe it's very important to live in truth. Truth is something that, we need to live in that, or else what is life if you have to live a lie, if you have to lie to others, if you have to lie to yourself, if we have to pretend to get along in a world that we know everything is falling apart. But it's like the elephant in the room. No one's saying anything. It's like, okay, the world's falling apart, but we're just going to get up, go to work, status quo, do the same thing we do every day, not hoping maybe it'll go away. It's not going away, folks. This is real. This is happening. And it's pretty scary stuff. And we need to be aware, and we need to set up the intentions, the proper intentions, so that things could go the right way. Right now, everything is upside down. World is upside down. And I know we're going through a shift. And so maybe that shift is what's creating the world upside down. So hopefully it'll right itself. And that's my hope and my dreams and my prayers and my manifestations, because we can't continue this way. We can't. So, and I know you all know that. I know that all of you on this chat room, all of you listening and all of you watching are aware, totally aware. And I see Lena's joined us as well. It's one of those things. And Fifth Girl says, and I think that it's perfectly okay no matter what stage we're at now. It's all beautiful and serving its purpose. I know it. Definitely, there's no judgment. There is no judgment for anyone. As long as we're going in some direction, and my hope is that we're going in the right direction. But if the person's not, you got to wish them well, because it's their journey. It's their life path. It's what they've chosen. And whatever we choose, that's fine. That's fine. It's what is, right? So anyway, let's take a look at this lovely article written or placed at Mind Body Green. 7 signs you're living your truth. It's always very good, and it was written by Lauren Stahl. It's always know that you're in the right path, right? That you're doing something good. That you're actually in the right direction. You know, I personally never really got much approval from my parents. My father was very strict. He was an alcoholic. And, you know, my mom never gave me any praises, no matter what I did, no matter how much I tried. And I tried so hard to be a good daughter at the time. And I tried so hard to please her. My mom's missing a thyroid. She had surgery when she was 8 years old. So she had lots of mental disabilities, you know, let's call them that. And so I kind of like learned to like be my own that a girl, that a boy type of thing, right? I mean, somebody else doesn't give it to you. You got to give it to yourself. So I don't mean to ever come across as arrogant, you know, or anything like that, or like Mr. Know-It-All, because I don't. I learn something new every day. I just get excited when I'm able to share something with you guys. So please don't ever read my intentions as arrogant, Mr. Know-It-All, or anything like that. It all comes from my heart. I mean well. And I don't ever want to come across any old way. And if I do, please center me. Please let me know, and I will adapt, and I will shift to where I need to be. It takes courage to be the person you are. There's no magic pill or solution to make this happen, especially in a world that constantly sends you messages about who you should be. Because that we hear all the time, you should be this, you should be that, you should and should and should. All of this takes you away from being true to yourself. It leads you to live the life you think others want you to have. And there's nothing worse than living someone else's life. This thing, I'm trying to be gentle with it so it doesn't scroll more than it needs to. It's so sensitive. This way of living takes you away from authenticity and truth. You ignore your desires and stuff down what you truly want to do or the person you really want to be. Thinking you can fulfill your obligations first, then pursue your dreams is an illusion. It may seem to be the best option sometimes, but this way of viewing the world diminishes your value and power over the long run. It's never too late to start embracing what it means to be true to yourself. Here are signs you are embracing and living your truth. Now, in saying this, and I'm going to put a disclaimer, yes, you got to be true to yourself. But in my opinion, we also have to be careful, and there's got to be a balance, because I've noticed that this generation particularly is very self-soothing, self-satisfying themselves. They're just all about the self. And there's, you know, in my opinion, we have responsibilities. So we have to balance that. So I'm not saying go out there and do whatever it is that you want, how you want it, and heck with everybody else's feelings and thoughts in their life. Because no, I'm not for that. You know, I think there's balance. And I think that's why we're here on this beautiful blue planet, spirits having a human experience, learning to do. So let's see here what my tribe has to say. All right. Dottie says, yes, back to our true spirit self, the fifth world. I already read that earlier. Good. True Luck says, good morning, Lena. Dottie says, Lena, much love. I know I have strong statements, but I feel the need to reiterate, maybe? I think this has gotten all mixed up just to cause confusion around the Divine Mother who is arriving now. I truly believe that. I truly do believe that. I believe that the enemy always takes everything and turns it upside down. Something pure and loving and special. The enemy is going to go, oh, I've got a special thing for that. Here you go. And I believe that's what's happened in this trans agenda, in this whole gender confusion. There shouldn't be a confusion. Mother, father is androgynous. We are androgynous. Everything that revolves around this world has a duality. on this dimension anyway. I don't know when we leave this dimension if such is going to be the case, but in this one, that's the world we live in. And Dottie says, I agree, Fifth World. And Stephanie Allen says, yes, Fifth, absolutely. Evolution is a process of entertainment. We follow our elders. And Scott said, reasons for everything. And Fifth World says, Stephanie, you are beautiful, wise. You are one of those elders. That was very nice, Fifth World. AK, good morning, AK. Thank you for joining us. Love and light to you, brother. And Scott says, hey, AK, and everyone's saying hellos to AK. And Stephanie Allen says, I've been made strong through life experience, learning to surrender my quote-unquote mind and speak/live from the heart. That's the only way. That's the only way I know how. That's the only way I know how to live is through my heart. I only know how to be real. Sometimes I open mouth, insert foot, get myself into trouble. I say too much. I'm too honest. And sometimes I'm a little abrasive. Because I'm a no-nonsense kind of person. When I believe something, I'm there. I'm a warrior. Let's go. Let's do this, And but at the same time, I have a very loving, nurturing, and gentle nature, which I don't let many people see because life has taught me that I need to build walls sometimes. But do know that I will give you the shirt off my back. I will do what I have to do for you. And I am a lover and not a fighter. But if the situation arises, you can count on me. And Dottie says, follow your truth, but harm no one. Totally. And Scott says, do all in love, balance. Yes. Scott says, that is why the divine feminine has under attack since the beginning. Totally. Totally. So much so that she's been stripped out of the whole picture. It's like, okay, father this, father that, father the other. And it's like, hello, where's mother? There needs to be a woman for there to be life. I mean, that's what this world shows us, right? And Queenie Carter joins us. Good morning, Queenie. Sending you lots of love and prayers and positive manifestation for your little one. Hope everything's going as planned. And yeah, so let's continue here. So number one of the 7 signs you're living in truth. Life is going to throw lemons your way. Oh gosh, we see that daily. There will be disappointments, pain, death, and broken hearts. And we know that well. Broken hearts. Yeah. Knowing that you're anchored and have a foundation regardless of what happens is a sign of truth and a sign of balance. I cry. I do cry. I do show a lot of emotions. But I've also learned in my awakening that these emotions were placed here by the one that likes to throw everything upside down so that it keeps us totally enslaved. Totally enslaved and totally dependent on external manipulation, external needs. So I've learned that, yes, there's a time to cry. There's a time to laugh. There's a time to allow those emotions to show, but to never let those emotions take control of you, in my opinion. I mean, and that's what this awakening has allowed me to do. It's allowed me to be a spectator, to not wear my feelings on my sleeves, to not allow things to totally consume me, because that's what the adversary wants. And I'm not going to give the adversary what the adversary wants. Number 2, you aren't looking to be completed. And that is so true. How many times we get into a relationship thinking that we need that relationship to complete us, when actually, when we get into a relationship, we end up losing ourselves. We end up compromising ourselves to try to please another person. And we all do this. Why do we do this? Because we want to keep the peace. We want to make the other person happy. We forget about our own needs, most of us. And, that's how it goes. So when you're being true to yourself, you are whole and complete. There's no need to search for someone else to do this for you. The more you look to be completed, the more you weaken the sense of completeness you have within. I mean, now, how many of you have felt that you get into a relationship because you think you're missing something? The only time you should ever get into a relationship is when you're fully complete and when you're capable of giving to that relationship without being needy, without creating this whole dependency, codependency type of thing. And without, people say, well, you complete me. Well, it's nice. Two people in love is the most beautiful and wonderful thing, but you should be able to also be in love with self, be in love with each other as a family. I think I'm so looking forward to that, because it's like so much love, so much love put together, an energy ball that's just gonna wow, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but that's what I'm like. And then taking that love and that vibration and that frequency and generated it back up to father and mother, father. Let's see. Scott says, I cry sometimes, not for me, but for humans. I hear you, brother. That is, my heart breaks day in and day out when I see why are we doing this to one another? We could stop this like that in an instant. And this would be heaven on earth instead of the hell on earth that we're living right now. Scott says, truth only hurts those who don't have it. Exactly. And Dottie says, tears clear toxins from our bodies. So I was told. It does. It helps relieve. That's why we have colds every so often. It's the body going, okay, time to get it out. That's why I fast, because fasting prevents me from getting colds. It allows my body to kick in with its autophagy. And autophagy is when the body just cleans house, gets rid of the things that don't belong in there. So, I'm pretty sure that most of you that are on chat feel that you don't need someone else to complete them. And that someone else doesn't even have to be a person. I know a lot of religious people that really, it's like, I need the creator to complete me. It's beautiful. Yes, it's nice to have a beautiful relationship with source, with mother, father. But trust me, mother, father doesn't want some clingy little, dependent little son or daughter that's constantly, oh, father this, oh, mother that. He wants us and she wants us to be independent and for us to do for each other. For us, we are the ones that we have been waiting for. And Titi joins us. Hello, Titi. Love you all. Scott says, any release of excess energy is good, keeps balance. That's the name of the game. We need to keep ourselves well balanced. Let's go on here. Number 3, outside validation isn't your only source of validation. And that's very important. We can't always wait for somebody like, did I do good? Tell me I did good. Come on, pat my back. Tell me I look good. Tell me I look awesome. Tell me I'm doing great. That's like the number one thing in today's day and age. Hey, let's take a selfie. Oh, how many likes did I got? Wow, okay. Oh, man, we don't need that stuff. That's all vanity. That's all the adversaries doing. We don't need none of that. Be true to yourself means your main source of validation is from within. The answers are within us. And when we could tap in and then we could share with one another, resonate, vibrate in that same energy, so we could every single one of us elevate ourselves. Sure, outside validation feels good, but it should not be your only source of validation. The more it is, the more you lower your sense of self. And that happens, folks, constantly. Number 4, you're not dependent on others to feel good about yourself. Living in your truth means your relationship with others are about respect. That's key. They bring out the light and love within. It means you aren't dependent on those relationships to feel good about yourself. And if you're constantly needing that feel good motivation from the person you're with, there's something wrong there. You shouldn't have to constantly be doting, constantly be, saying, hey, this, hey, look this, hey. No, you've got to learn to tap in. And that's what mother, father wants us. It's like the bird that kind of, kicks the little birdie out. Come on, fly. Time to leave the nest. Go on, I think that's very important. Let's see here. And Ake says, know the dark, be in center. Know the light, be in love. knows the light being center. Scott says, who wants to be validated by this crazy world? It's not me. I hear you, brother. If you're popular in this world and you're getting a bunch of likes on Facebook because of your looks and what you're doing and whatever, then you're doing something wrong. And you got the wrong people, in your circle. It's good to tell each other, hey, I love you. And I'm proud that you're getting it, that you're growing, that you're evolving as a light being. But it comes from a different place, not from a place of ego, not from a place where you're boasting and going, yeah, look at me. That ain't going to get us anywhere. And Queenie says, can you all help? Queenie has, Queenie, place that link that you shared on email, the video that you did. I have on one of the shows that I did a lot of your information, your pictures, your books, and all that stuff. So if you guys could help Queenie out with her daughter, that would be so greatly appreciated. What was I? Feel about yourself. Number 5, you don't feel guilty speaking your truth. Hey, you got to speak the truth. I mean, who wrote this article? Wow, I didn't write it, but they're like head on here. The reality is that you're not going to appease everyone. I know that. I know I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I know some people are going to think I'm a jerk. I'm too harsh. I'm too brash. I speak with an awful accent, or not accent, but I mungle my words around. And I'm me. I can't be no one else but me. And trust me, it took me a long, long time to heal from that. It took me years to heal from that because the little pleaser that I grew up to be just made me feel awful. And I don't share a lot of that because I don't want to do one of these, and I don't want to get sympathy and people go, oh, that's not me. When I die, I don't want to be known for the victim person that I was. I want to be known for the empowerment that I showed, the resilience that I showed, the things that I did for others, because this is not about me. This is about you. This is about us. This is about a community, a tribe that we need to build so we can get ourselves out of this mess. It's an illusion to think you are. Being honest and truthful about communicating with others is where there is lasting, and I'll repeat, lasting fulfillment, and you embrace what living your truth really means. I haven't read this article. It's the first time I'm reading it with you as I'm sharing it. When I pick my articles for the show, I don't always, I just kind of glance at them out. And my higher self tells me, yep, this is a good one. Bring it on. Share it. So as I'm reading this, I'm going, wow. So no ulterior motives, no nothing. First time I'm reading this, number 5, you don't feel guilty speaking your truth. And a lot of the things that this article has to say are pretty spot on. Number 6, you don't take everything personally. I don't take anything personally. Like, if you don't like me, if you don't like what I'm saying, I'm sorry. It's not on me. That's something you need to work on. That's something you need to deal with. If it can be easy to take what others say and do personally. And I know some people do wear their feelings in the sleeve. But part of this awakening is to remove that, to cut that umbilical cord. We need to be stronger. We need to evolve and improve, constantly changing, constantly awakening. There's an evolution that's happening within us. Our DNAs are being connected. This can get you in a negative headspace when you overcompensate and ultimately aren't being true to yourself. By being true to yourself, you trust in your actions and your choices. You realize that what others do has to do with them, not you. It took me a long time to learn this. And when you do, trust me, you will be happier and better off for it. Sometimes there are things that we don't want to hear. Sometimes certain words sound harsh, But when I say something, I'm saying it from my heart. I'm living it. It's my truth and how I see things. I understand it may not be your truth. But, there's one thing I've noticed. There is the universal truth. I know this day and age with all this PC stuff, nobody believes in that. Everybody's like, live your way. And, you know, if I say I'm a unicorn, then I'm a unicorn or whatever it is. But there are universal truths that we must all follow. It's what keeps society civil. Excuse me, got to drink some water. It's what allows us to evolve. You know, we cannot take everything personal. Number 7, you believe you're more than your job, relationship, weight, or financial status. Yes. How many people ask, hey, how are you? And what do you do for a living? You just met me. Do you want my resume too? You want to know my habits? It's like, when somebody says, how are you? Do they really mean it? Half the time they don't. And half the time they just want to be nosy. And if if you're not in the top 10 career choices and whatever, then you're like, oh, I don't want nothing to do with you. They don't even get to know you, your heart, your soul. No, they want to know what diploma you have hanging on your wall. Your value is innately within you, not outside of you, not the college degree that you have. Yeah, I went to college. I fell for all that. I was very dead asleep. That's how my mom raised me. You need to have this. You need to do that. You need to have a degree. I'm an occupational therapist. Big deal. Went to school for 6 years. It served me well. It has helped me learn a lot of things, and for that I am grateful. But I don't wear that title. That's not who I am. I'm a spirit having a human experience. You realize you're more than what you have. You believe you are whole. That's why I am a minimalist. That's why I am so excited for this months to go so I can get rid of whatever it is I don't need and live out of that little car with just the bare minimum, the essentials. You know, that to me brings me so much joy. You just don't know how much joy that brings me. It's as long as I have a warm place to lay down, a meal to have, because all I have is one meal a day, and that I'm safe, that I'm not going to be, murdered, raped, or whatever, that's it. And then that I'm able to connect with you guys. That is you just don't know how excited I am about that. It just totally. So yeah, that's 7. You value is innately within you. When you're being true to yourself, the externals don't define you. You realize you are more than what you have. You believe you are whole. How many of us here believe we are whole? Let me take a look at some of these beautiful comments. I have to scroll down so that I could find where I left off reading here. Okay. Yes, empowerment is important, says Queenie. Totally. We don't want to walk around like, oh no, I'm not good enough. I don't say the right things. I don't look good. Who wants to be around that? And it's not to judge that, but that's kind of contagious. We're energy. So if you're high vibration, you're going to attract high vibration people. If you're low vibration, you're going to attract low vibration people. And if you're one of those high vibrations that are here to help the low vibration people, you're going to get drained. So we need to pick everybody's vibration up, because that draining creates diseases, disorders, discomfort, disillusion, disrespect for self and others. So we need to empower ourselves. That's beautiful. Yes, that deserves that right there. So AK says, Queenie Carter +1 and a smiley face. Good morning, Scott Satella. Thank you for joining us. It's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profound sick society. Jito Krishnamurti. Exactly, brother. It's like we're measuring everything with the wrong measuring device. Totally wrong. And Titi says, I don't never feel complete in a relationship, but I'm wanted for me, a compliment. I don't never feel complete in a relationship, but I'm wanted for me, a compliment. So you're saying you like to be complimented or something? I'm not quite sure what what you're trying to say. And Scott said, Sue, much symmetry with what I went through these last 4 days. So much symmetry with what I went through these last 4 days. Have to stand in the truth, not your truth necessarily, knowing the truth. That's right, brother. You got it. Hello, GT. She says, hi, Mark. And Scott says, other Scott. Yes, we got 2 Scotts in the house. Woo! And Scott, and you're both Scott S. So I can't even say Scott S because they're both Scott S. So Scott Sev and Scott Zatella. Awesome last names, both of you. Scott Severini can live a lie and call it the truth. That's right. But you know what? We have that kind of disease going on in this world today. We're living a lie and we're calling it truth. Go figure on that one, right? And Scott Satella says, next time we meet someone new and they ask what you do, we can say, I love. That's right. What do you do if I'm living? I'm a lover. I love people. I try to communicate with people. I try to raise people's vibrations. I try to get people to love themselves. You know, it's what it's all about. And Scott Severini says, people will say things to fit in, be right, defend their truth, but it's a lie. Discernment, totally. It's like in high school, you know, you want to be one of the cool kids, you know, and everybody wanted to fit in, and they would do things they normally wouldn't do just to fit in, just to be one of the popular kids, just to get a little like on Facebook, just to get a, ooh, you look good. I mean, who needs that? I know I don't. I'm all cross-eyed, bearded, and crufty. It's like, fine, you know, but I want you to see me here. I want you to feel my love, my heart, my passion, that I'm living in truth, that I don't care if I don't live in a mansion. I'll be happy to live in my little blue Prius, Gypsy Blue. That's my girl. And that's all, you know, till the universe provides, if the universe sees fit to provide me with a little bigger, humble abode, a little Pheonix Cruiser, then I'll be forever grateful. If not, I'll be forever grateful to continue to live in my little blue Gypsy Blue Nomad when the time comes. And Stephanie Allen says, I learned to feel joy when someone new dismisses me. It tells me who they are. Boom, right, Stephanie? Boom, right. And Dottie K says, hey, Scott, Satella, sorry, I keep getting you 2 Scotts mixed up, but love you both. I know, it's like the S's, but, you know, I could feel the different energy. Beautiful. Both have beautiful, beautiful energy. And I appreciate them so much. They both have called in on the show, and that's a great thing. Morris Stevens says, great topic today. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Morris. Thank you. Appreciate you stopping by. And again, guys, if you all feel so inclined and want to share a little something on the line, I'd be more than happy to connect you and have you speak away. And let's see here. AK says, Scott Severini, Ultimate Truth is arriving nicely packed for all to understand. Definitely. And hey, Stefan Crum, thank you for joining us. And AK will be shared soon, says AK. And Danny Flo says, I've learned that sometimes you have to love people from a distance. Yeah, that is so true, Scott and Danny. That is very, very true. Sometimes you just have to love them from a distance, because when they get too near, they kind of zap your energy out. They kind of bring you to the place that they're in, and that's never good. That's, you know, TT says acceptance is very important. If people don't want it, listen. It's not no obligation, but life has more than a point of view. And Scott says, working on a school bus for truth travel. Yeah, there you go. Then we could head on a caravan. That'll be so awesome. Just caravan of truthers. Ministries on wheels. That's awesome stuff. All right, so let's see here. Next article. You know, one of the things I noticed that we're seeing a lot of, and I don't know why I am led by source to speak about these neurological impairments. MS is something that's really hitting people big. And I think there's going to be a heck of a lot more of that taking place. And I treated a lot of MS patients when I worked in hospitals as an occupational therapist. And it's a very debilitating disorder. And I'll share a little bit about this. Oh, we're getting a call here. Why isn't it going here? Okay. Okay, why aren't you answering? There we go.
Crystal. To accept, press 1.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Crystal. How are you?
I'm good.
Well, good is good.
I'm seeing what you're talking about. Let me tell you something. We all have to believe we are more than what they say or what they say we are, because you know what? We are spiritual beings, and we are more than what anything thinks.
That is very true, Crystal. But people need to know that. People need to learn that. People need to feel that. People need to understand that. And they need to be told that time and time again, because we're told from the time we're little, you're not enough. School tells us that. Our preachers tell us that. Our everybody. Yeah, everybody tells us that. And
I was told I would never be nothing, and look what I'm doing.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And it's definitely. And it's.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Everybody has to believe in what's in their heart. They have to believe with all their heart they can do anything. I don't care what anything says in society. I'm one of them. No matter how hard I get kicked, I get right back up.
That's it. That's the only way to do it.
I've learned a lot with this with Sarah, that no matter how hard you get kicked, when you see your kid fighting every day and keeps going, you better get up and keep going no matter what.
Exactly.
So if anybody believes that they can't get back up, let me tell you what, I'll root you on to get back up.
She's your biggest
teacher.
teacher.
If you have a dream you want to dream and live, do it.
That's right. She's your biggest teacher. Sometimes terrible things in life have to happen for us to learn from them, because some terrible things become the most wonderful things. And sometimes in the moment we don't see it, but the pain that we feel is the biggest teacher we will ever have.
She's my angel. She has taught me much. And it seems that I wouldn't trade her for nothing for the teaching I've got from her.
And that's such a blessing for you to say that. And I hope that you help others understand when they feel down, when they think they're going through something horrible, that it could get a lot worse, One thing I've always learned, you never spit up, because it'll always come back down in your face. And if you think your life is bad, look behind you. There are other people that are way worse than you. So we have to be grateful for wherever we are. We have to be grateful for the good, the bad, and the ugly, and learn from every situation that we encounter, because it's there to help us grow, as Crystal herself is saying here. And you are a very special soul, Crystal. And so is your lovely daughter.
I try very hard to uplift people and teach people is what I do. So, all right, I have to go now, but I wanted to call in real quick. Much love to you.
Much love to you, and everyone in the chat and who's watching sends you love. Take care, Crystal. Bye-bye. And send love to your little one for us, to Sarah. Bye-bye. She's an amazing woman. I mean, we have a lot to learn from her. Child is sick with an incurable disorder, autoimmune disorder that's making her little body frail, a form of rheumatoid arthritis. She's doing chemo because there's no other remedy, and they think chemo is going to help her. I'm not a fan of medical intervention. I would do it differently, but I never want to impose what I want to do on others. I would totally change diet. I would totally do vibrational work, energy work, and things that would allow the body to heal itself, because I'm a true believer, and I believe this with all my heart and soul, that we could heal anything. We truly can. But unfortunately, men with white coats haven't disempowered us. The system, big pharma, have disempowered us. And it's important for us to find that strength and find the know-how and tap into mother and father and learn how we could heal ourselves. Let's see here. We have got, so April joined us and said, hi, Mark, and all you beautiful folks. Stephanie Alice says, Dan Flo, yes, loving and lifting from a okay, I think I read that before. It's a very wise choice. Scott says, yes, take over this plane of existence with love and truth. Dottie says, please hit the like button. Thank you. Yes, please hit the like button, subscribe, share. And if you could help the show, I would highly appreciate that. There's a PayPal donate button. There's a lot that I have to do to get out there, and I want to keep providing this. I want to keep, providing all the information, getting to you guys. And so I appreciate anything you can do. And if you can't donate, that's fine. Just share, hit the like button, subscribe. The more the message gets out there, the better. Dottie says, I already read that. Stephanie says, good morning, April. And everyone's saying their good mornings to April. Stephanie Crum says, it's ultra violence, MK Ultra mind control that held me down for years. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I'm like getting blinder than I'm bad as I get older. And if the gatherer had not come to me and told me that there was nothing wrong with me, I would still be gang stalked. Wow. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. I think, what was it? The Best Damn Podcast talked about, John King talked about that as well. I mean, it's horrific, huh? But, building your vibration up, not giving permission for that to happen will prevent that from happening. So we are sovereign beings. We do not accept any type of stalking, any type of attacks. We don't welcome the enemy. We are light beings. We are with Mother, Father, and we are building a strong tribe and community so we can raise the vibration as we need to raise it. And Dottie says, forgive, love, and believe. Totally. Forgive is a very important factor in that equation. And to start by forgiving yourself for all the wrongs that we have done. And God knows we've done many. There's not one of us out there that haven't wronged someone. We need to start by forgiving ourselves. And by forgiving ourselves, we throw that pebble in the pond that creates that massive round circle that just spreads throughout so that everybody else is able to forgive themselves and forgive each other. Even forgive those that have harmed us. We need to. And Scott says, your belief needs to be strong. The stronger you believe, the more you can do. Totally. It's like build that ammunition within you. Ammunition of love, ammunition of forgiveness, ammunition of empowerment. Hey, Rad DV. Love you all so much, Ray DV says. Thank you, Ray, for joining us. Love you, brother. Love you so much. Stephen Crum says the law of attraction is only material game without the all. I loved that movie, The Secret. I didn't like the materialistic twist that they gave it because, like material things are going to make us happy. So you get a car, a Lamborghini. Yeah, you ride in it. You're going to be a cop magnet for starters. Women are going to look at it, and you think women are going to want you for you, or they're going to want you for the car because women like to be seen with nice, guys that drive nice things. So it's all fake. So, or do you want people to love you for you? For your heart, for your essence, for what you're saying, for your actions, not for your material goods, not for how you look. If I get back into a relationship, I don't want the woman that I'm going to have a relationship with to just be all goo goo gaga about my looks. I'm ugly as heck, so I'm like, that ain't gonna happen. But for my heart, for who I am, for how we make each other feel. Because that's what's important, not the materialistic stuff, Okay, Dottie says, hi, Ray. And everybody's saying hi to Ray and AK, and everybody's loving on everybody, which I love to see you guys loving on each other. And Fana joins us. All my love to you and everyone. Fana. Scott says, yes, have to own your sovereignty, own command. That's right, brother. And the other Scott, Satella, says, armoring up daily and staying in love. How about you at AK, says Scott Satella. That's right. Got to put our armor on every morning when you get up, get that heart space nicely set in there and activate it, armor on, and we're ready. We're ready to go out there and love and combat this evil and just love the evil to the point where the evil is going to turn into love itself. Because love is so contagious, you know? Dottie says, like, subscribe, and if you can, please donate. Thank you, Dottie. Thank you so, so much, Dottie. And Queenie Carter says, your should speak, not the material. Your soul speak? Heart. Your heart should speak, not the material. Exactly. Exactly. Material things, they come, they go. It's like, but the memories, the connections that you make in this lifetime will always be connected to your soul. It will always be connected to that library that we're creating to bring back home to mom and dad. You know? That's what it's all about. So let me see this little, share this little MS relapse. This is something we all have to be very mindful about. Not just so much about getting MS. There's a lot of different neurological impairments that are out there, and they're being created from all the chemicals, exposure, the stress, you know, the stuff they're shooting at us and throwing at us in the sky. So, I mean, I'm going to try to pick and choose what I read here because I don't want to get too... MS is a disorder, neurological multiple sclerosis disorder that starts to your myelin sheath, which is the protection of the nerves. It's like a little wrapping, you know, like how we, what's the word I'm looking for? Like when something is insulated, right? It's your insulation. And when the insulation starts to go bad, it starts to develop plaque. The energy conduction from your brain to the rest of your body becomes dampened. And you're not going to get full connection. Sometimes you lose the ability to walk. Sometimes you lose the ability to breathe, to move your arms. It depends where the attack of that plaque begins. People with MS go through exacerbations and remission. You know, they have to be careful, respect their fatigue level. I'm getting another call.
Danny.
And Danny's calling. Hey, Danny.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you. Another day in paradise.
Great.
Another day to share in love and truth.
Well, I'm glad I found your show because I've been going through some depression, and I really like your positive attitude, and it's really nice to see that even though you've been going through a breakup, that you're not miserable. It's really nice to see that, and it's really helping me going through my breakup. So I'm just very thankful, and I just wanted to share that with you.
Well, thank you, Danny. I'm so sorry that you're going through a breakup. Breakups are never fun and they're hard, but we need as spirit beings, as evolving spirits that we are, to realize that everything in life happens for a reason. And if we look at the good side of things instead of the bad, that's what's going to help us pull through, you know. And I send you lots of love, and we all do here in the chat room, and all of us that are watching. Send you love and support, and you will get through this. We will get through it together because we have to, right?
Yeah.
So I'm here for you. Go ahead, Danny.
Well, it's very nice to talk to you. I just wanted to say hi.
All right, Danny.
And thank you.
Thank you. Take
Bye.
care. Thank you. Much love. Much love. Yeah, it's, you know, we're living in times where all of us are going to be going through a lot of trials and tribulations. It's part of the shift. It's part of what's taking place. I mean, mother's going through a lot. You see all the flooding and weird weather. We are all going to be going through all that, but we can't panic. We can't drown ourselves. There's a Spanish saying, se ahoga un vaso de agua. They drown in a glass of water. People that just can't cope. And I say to those of you that feel that you could drown in a glass of water, you are stronger than you know. You just need to tap into that strength. You need to realize that you are not your body. You are not your situation. You are greater than that. And when one door closes, another one will open. Trust me on that. It will get better. We will get through all of this. We will survive. We will not. We will triumph. More than survive. We will triumph. We will stand strong and we will stand together. I promise every single one of you, it will all be all right. Yes, Dottie, I love to hear chatters calling in, even if it's just to say hi and to just share a little bit about themselves, because that's what I want this show to be all about. Our transition as a species together, sharing and loving one another. This is our show completely. And Scott says, Scott, time for seating and doing things around the house, but yes, always in love. Totally. Love is the answer. Love is the elixir of life. That's become my new signature on my for my email when I sign off. Love is the elixir of life. And I'm going to put that on here. Love is the elixir of life. Totally. Love is the elixir of life. Without love, there's nothing. Love heals, love mends, love repairs. Love is what makes this beautiful planet vibrate. Okay, so there are exacerbations and relapses that take place. Stress will create an exacerbation in a person with MS. And I mean, you could develop infections, upper respiratory diseases, gastrointestinal, urinary tract infections. Your temperature can become elevated. And all these things are symptoms, due to a prior neurological injury. Our neurological system is being bombarded with all the chemicals that we're being introduced to. So we're going to see a lot of this. And I want to prepare you guys. I want you guys to be armed so that you don't get this. Okay? Eat right. Eat healthy. Eat good calories so that you don't have to eat a bunch of dead calories. Eat what your body needs so your body could digest properly and spend the rest of its time healing. I beg of you to do this for your own well-being, for your own health. Your mental, emotional, and spiritual health relies on this. Let's see here. It says, do I need to go to the hospital if I experience an MS relapse? Absolutely. Because, when you it's almost like an inflammatory response that kicks in and your body starts to attack itself. And along like cancer, along like any of these debilitating diseases, I'm not a hospital person. And for me to go to a hospital, it has to be that I have a car accident and, my guts are coming out of my stomach. But I know not everyone's there yet. I know not everyone's there and able to heal themselves. And in an emergency, when your guts are flowing out, I can't see you healing yourself. You need to go to the emergency room. And I know it's not a good place to go, but the key is to prevent the relapse from taking place, to prevent from getting MS. Let's see here. What is this? Can I remove this out in the way? Let me see. High dose intravenous steroids, which I don't recommend. It's usually what they give. See, it's like this medical system just wants to kill you. So there are ways. It was actually a natural doctor, gosh, this thing just moves, that cured her own MS naturally. And then they killed her because they don't want natural stuff out there. I had a video the other day that was talking about healing. I don't know what it was. They wouldn't allow me to monetize it because they don't want, that's what YouTube's doing. Big Pharma don't want people to heal themselves naturally. It's crazy. It says some people respond poorly to corticosteroids. I wonder why. I think everybody responds poorly. It's not meant to be in your system. So anyway, I just wanted to bring this. I felt this was something, for you guys to look at. You really want to keep yourself healthy. You really want to prevent MS. You really want to prevent any type of external stress entering your body, your soul. Be strong. Elevate yourself. Meditate. Manifestation moments, which I plan to continue to do on the evening show, to empower, to protect yourself from everything that's happening. And Stefan comes says, are we already in the new earth? I don't think we are. I think we're heading there. I think we're really heading there. I think there's still a lot of growing pains. I think there's still a lot of shifting taking place. I think many of us are preparing our DNA and are seeing glimpses of it. But are we there yet? I don't think we are. I don't think we are yet. But that's my opinion. I could be wrong. Stephanie Allen says, Ziggy Marley has an awesome song, Love is the Only Law to Obey. Yes, that is the only law to obey. It is an elixir of life, I feel, says Scott Severini, we are facing into the new earth, not here yet, being shaped now. Good to have that same, what's the word I'm looking for? Resonating the same way. I think the testosterone is finally starting to leave my head, because before I couldn't think of a word, but now it's slowly coming in. So once I'm fully clean from the years of being on testosterone, my brain will come back and I won't have word finding problems as testosterone has done for me. Not good stuff at all. I don't advocate it. Do not do that. If you're born biological female, stay away from testosterone. Your body produces a very little amount, an amount that it needs, but when you start injecting and trying to change yourself around, not good. Not good at all. Let's see here. Scott said that's why doctors operate something called a practice, because they're practicing on us. They're like, oh, let's see if this works. Oops, guess it didn't. It's the amount of medical errors that are committed every day. How many people die in a hospital because of medical errors? It's astounding. It's horrifying. And Scott says, greatest human test. Can you still love while all you know is being destroyed around you? Be not of the earth, just on it. Exactly, brother. I think I heard a wise man say that a long time ago. Be of the world, but not live in the world, but not of it, or something like that. It was Christ, one of the greatest teacher that walks this earth. I believe there were many great teachers, but he was one of them. Seven Crum says, or should I let them kill me to glorify God in faith, that no man has the power to destroy me, that the Father does or does not give them. No one can destroy your spirit. These fleshy suits, they're being destroyed from the moment we're born. They decay. We decay like so fast. After the age of 35, our muscles start to atrophy. We start to lose cells by the thousands. We start to age. But your spirit, your soul, lives forever. That's eternal. That's a gift that we have from Mother and Father. We are eternal beings. So if they kill us, it don't matter. We went down in glory, right? I wanted to share this little screen grab before I go into a transgender article for today. I find this to be very disturbing. And I'm going to make this into a bigger, let me remove the elixir of life here. Actually, I could bring myself back. No, that's not what I want. No, that's not what I wanted. There we go. I don't know about you, but he is a she and she is a he. He impregnated she, who is now a he, but is really a she because only she could get pregnant and not he. And on their t-shirt, this is what trans looks like. I don't want to judge. I don't want to be cruel. I don't want to sound like one big a-hole, okay? But I do need to speak truth. Truth is, women are the ones that carry babies. Women have reproductive organs that allow that to happen. Women nurture, breastfeed their children. They're supposed to. That's, in my opinion, that is what, that's the job, right? That's the job that has been given. As of yet, I don't think any man, not that I know of, I may have missed it, have ever given birth to a child. Men provide their seed to help with the creation of this beautiful, beautiful baby boy or beautiful baby girl, whatever, is born from the act of love. But to see a person with a beard who's had their breast removed be pregnant and still call themselves a man, and then be with a biological male who identifies as a female, who probably their sperm created the baby that's growing inside that person's stomach, and then find it to be like, oh, it's just another day in this world. I find that very disturbing. Good morning, Suped. Thank you for joining us. And Stephen Crumb says, Papa Bear Crumb protects his cup to death. That's right, Papa. We all have our roles to play, and if we allow this agenda to continue the way that it is, folks, we're in for a lot of trouble. And the adversary took something that was beautiful, androgyny, the transition of the two who will become one, right? That androgyny has been perverted with what we're seeing happening this day and age. I'm all for expression. Look, I did what I did. And I'm not being a hypocrite, okay? I'm not being a hypocrite, because if I would have known before I did this what I know today, I would have not done this. I'm not going to say I regret it, because I don't live in regrets. But I think there is a better way. I think there is a more noble, spiritually sensed way of doing this than the way it is being done. And like I said, I don't want to judge it. I don't want to be, I don't want to be a mean person, but I don't think it is right to bring to this planet an innocent child, to have to deal with the ridicule that child is going to deal with, to have to deal with parents who have not solved their own issues, bringing to this world little beings. In my opinion, and I hope I'm entitled to my opinion, I know the trans community don't want to hear it. In my opinion, this is wrong. And this is my opinion. I take full responsibility for my words. And I mean no harm, and I mean not to hurt anyone. But gosh, natural is natural. It's nature, and in the all. That's right, Stephen Crumb. Totally. Yes. Good morning, Zubed. Thank you for joining us. So let me grab the, what did I do with this? Okay, so the next article is going to give you a little bit of heads up on how this whole transgenderism has been sponsored, because there's money behind this. It's a movement that has experienced a very rapid rise compared to any other civil rights movement. I mean, think about it. Sex change surgery only went beyond experiments or the unfulfilled whims of Roman Empire until the 1950s, a decade that brought us the term transsexualism, courtesy of those that treated Christine Jurgensen, who was still unable to marry men because their legal sex was still listed as male despite their sex reassignment surgery. In that time, it has gone from a freak show curiosity and the surgical treatment for the homosexuals who were popularly believed into the 1960s to be a sort of third sex and often still are outside of a Western context, to America's most pressing civil rights movements with hundreds of millions of dollars being poured into the issue across the 50 states. I want you all to know that this article I did place in the description. It's a very long article, so I kind of picked and choose what I was going to say. But if you want to read it in its entirety, I highly recommend that you do. It has a lot of great information, and it gives you a preview look at what this trans agenda is all about. Again, folks, I'm not being judgmental. I'm speaking my truth. I'm speaking of years of experience. I'm speaking of what I see, and I see danger, danger, danger is coming our way. By contrast, other civil rights movements have not enjoyed such a rapid rise. Women oppressed since the creation of private property have endured patriarchy for thousands of years. It took 100 years for the United States to abolish slavery and another 100 to abolish segregation. It seems it will take another 100 for people to abolish what Colin Kaepernick kneels over. Homosexuals have been increasingly marginalized in Western society since late antiquity, and after the Stonewall riots and the collective awakening in the 60s and 70s, have waged a 50-year-long fight for equal rights, one that has not yet been won, as homosexuals have no federal civil rights protections. Yet transgenderism, a term itself coined barely 20 years ago and included in the LGBT since only the mid-90s, has money to burn and victories seem to come easily. I want you guys to think about that. Really ponder on what I'm saying here. And let me read some comments before I continue. Sweet Love says, Fana, AK says, statism is all new age teaching. Yes, AK. And Fana says, have your voice. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's important. It's important to be able to speak. It's important to listen to one another. It's be able to have both sides, not just one agenda, waving their flags and beating everybody else across the head with it. And Morris Stevens says, why does their having a baby harm anyone else? Why does their having a baby harm anyone else? Morris, I mean, women have babies. If this person claims to be a man who has a beard and hates their body, because most trans people say they have gender dysphoria and they hate their body, that hatred of that body, that this person wearing a beard who is pregnant and showing very heavily, is going to filter into the child's psyche. Because every day that passes by, this person's dysphoria is probably getting worse because they're looking more like a woman with their belly, because women are the ones that have babies, right? This hatred of self is being administered in the neurological system that's being developed in this baby boy or baby girl that's being developed. This baby boy and girl might also face gender confusion because both parents are very confused, obviously. How does this hurt anyone else? Gosh, let's see. It hurts women because they're trying to take away the wording in MANA, which is the ones that bring midwives association, something or another. They're trying to change the wording from pregnant women to pregnant person. Why? Because people like them, the person that I just showed, don't want to be seen as a pregnant woman. They want to be seen as a pregnant person. Vasa here, it's only women that have babies, not persons, women. So with all due respect, Morris, and I'm not trying to be disagreeable here with you or anything, but my opinion, there's a lot wrong with this. But that's my opinion. And I hope you could, respect that as I respect yours. And Scott says, Severini, take care of own house first before you can help others. Those people aren't helping anyone. Exactly. And they're bringing to this world an individual that's going to have to spend hours in therapy, probably self-loathing themselves as much as their parents self-loathe themselves. You have to have a special kind of hate, folks, to do what we do to ourselves. I had a special kind of hate for myself when I did what I did. I'm admitting it. I did not love myself. I hated myself because I was taught to hate myself because my mom told me everything I did was wrong. I walked wrong. I talked wrong. I didn't act like I was supposed to act. So, hey, folks, I did something to fix that, I thought. So that's some special kind of hate there. Special kind of hate. But that's all right. You want to have some special kind of hate for yourself? Go right ahead, but don't bring somebody else in this world into that special kind of hate with you. I'm sorry, I'm passionate, and now I can be as passionate as I want. Fana says, my heart says no one should have any more innocence, but everyone's still procreating. My heart says no. One should have any more innocence, but everyone's still procreating. Not quite understanding what that meant, Fana. Stephen says, you must encompass the all in all. And Supet says, who better to give their opinions on the subject? Mark, you, my beautiful brother. Thank you, Supet. I appreciate you. And I appreciate that you appreciate my rantings and my passion. And NK says, Scott's ever really true that. Yes. And Dottie says, for sure, Supet. Thank you, Dottie. And Scott says, living the lie. A lot of people are, Scott, brother. It's sad. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart so bad to see people wanting something so bad that will never be. And they're doing everything within their power. And they're destroying everything within their reach in their life. And one tries to throw them a lifeline. But they won't take it. They don't want it. So you have to just kind of walk away. But I feel I have a platform. I feel I have a voice, and I'm gonna get that microphone or that makeup phone and just speak it loud and clear because it affects every single one of us. Every single one of us. Even if you at the moment don't have a trans child, don't have trans issue, but you will, or you will learn somebody that is, because it's spreading like wildfire or flower or whatever that saying is. You got to excuse my Cuban innuendo. Sometimes I make up my own words. Sometimes I have trouble finding them, but you all know what I mean, I hope. And Supes says they keep adding letters to the LGBTQ, RSTUV, WX, Y, and C. That's right. It gets bigger by the minute. But, let me read some more, but let me see here. I have concerns, says Scott Satella, for the safety and salvation of my children and those I love. I practice trusting and faith that Creator, Mother, Father can and will protect them, but I do own a gun. I don't own a gun. I have a machete. I'm Cuban. Cubans like machete. I don't like guns. Not that I like machetes either, but I figured if I'm out there, because, I got it when we went on our journey, the 90 days, but that's going to be my source of protection. Samurai, machete, Cuban. Fana says, so true. I knew a heterosexual woman who talked so horribly about her pregnancy while pregnant and had a late stage miscarriage. Energy is everything. Yes. And the nervous system's being developed. Your child's being developed while in your stomach. And his personality is being developed while you're still carrying him or her. And there's so much neurological impairments that take place because of self-hatred and how you talk to that child when the child is still attached to you. And Stephanie Allen says, plus to say nothing about the load of hormones being delivered through the umbilical cord. Dear God, I know, it's crazy. And the DNA being altered. And Danny Flo says, I understand the self-hate is something that abusive adults put into us as children. Danny, brother, I feel you. I that's how I grew up. That's why I did what I did. A lot of self-hatred. And I know parents mean well, but I think, instead of worrying about having a license to drive and whatever, parents need to have a license to have a baby. They need to learn how to raise that child. They need to learn about child psychology. They need to know the damage that they create. But they don't. They just let anybody have children because that's what the adversary wants. Keep producing them. The adversary wants more slaves. Zeus says, yep, Mark, look at all these young ones having plastic surgery with their parents' consent. That's like, it boggles my mind. It totally boggles my mind. All right, so see, trans movement separate to the gay and lesbian movement has built itself an entire infrastructure over the past 10 years. LGBT has morphed into LGBTQI. One Canadian school district managed to morph the LGB acronym into LGBTQ ITTIPASFDA. Oh my God, it's so long I can't even. Which led to a round of healthy internet mockery. The transgender movement is not marginalized voices finally being heard. It is a case of large amounts of money being heard. According to founders of LGBTQ Issues, FFLI, funding specifically earmarked for transgender cause began rapidly increasing in 2012. By 2016, it outstripped the funding for gay, lesbian, and bisexual combined, a total of, get this, 13.2 million, at a cool 22 million total funding, specifically earmarked for transgender causes. Somebody calling, causes that, it says missed call. So I guess it wasn't anybody. That's over 10% of the total LGBTQI funding tracked by funders, which is 202 million total. Now, the money comes from a wide range of philanthropists, while names such as George Soros, Open Society Foundation, Arcus run by Gay Striker Corp, Hire John Striker, and Tides comes as little surprise to anyone following money on the center left of politics. But other names stand out. Jennifer Pritzker, formerly called Jane Pritzker, who came out as a trans woman in 2013 through their Tawani Foundation, who outside of transgender causes is a far-right Republican and supported Trump-supporting candidates in 2016 election. This has come as specifically earmarked funding for gays and lesbians has declined in the same period. Foundation and philanthropics funding for lesbian was not so cool, 4 million in 2016, despite being a far larger population than transgender people. I don't know why that is. Lesbians are never liked. I remember when I was living as one, it was just like this whole, unless you were a guy that wanted to see two girls doing it. TMI, I know. That's one hell of a lobby group. Let's look at a few lobby groups to figure this out. For example, let's look at Organization Global Action for Trans Equality. You might not have heard of it, but it is the prototype example of trans astroturf. I picked it out, the person who wrote this article, out of a funders for LGBTQI issues list. It is a small organization that somehow made a presentation to the UN, and it didn't think so to conceal its donors in the IRS 990 forms. So I combed through them. Their Wikipedia page tells me its executive director is Mauro Cabral, a trans and intersex activist who was a signatory for the Yogyakarta Principle. Sound totally organic and not official? Its mission is, supposedly, the goal of making funding available to trans people in order to achieve these goals. Where does that money come from? Who are the funding sources? How will they be created? The 2015 form also mentions aiding an international HIV response, but crucially, I've saved the best for last. GATE betrays its actual astroturf nature with its admission to its 2015 IRS 990. More hormones, more problems. Let me start with a story. The story is that hormone replacement therapy started in 1930 and 1940s. Christine Jurgensen was the first patient to receive HRT for transgenderism in 1950. It began its life being marked as a cure-all for the ills of menopause to the foundation of youth. It was also used as a tool to punish homosexuals, such as Alan Turing. Use for transgenderism was a side project carried out by a few doctors considered quacks and oddballs. HRT is prescribed and intended for the patient to take for life as they begin a journey into being their authentic self. A transgender person expects to take hormones for the rest of their life. This is significant because every drug prescribed for transgenderism is prescribed, get this, off-label. There are no approved drugs for treating transgenderism. Zero. Not puberty blockers, not HRT. For transition, many of the drugs used by transgender people are common brand names, HRT drugs that are being used off-label. Premarin, Androgel, and others. All these drugs have histories of off-label marketing. Androgel, as aforementioned, has thousands of lawsuits pending against it. This history of pharmaceutical companies using illegal marketing practices and ignoring deleterious side effects can't possibly be the case with transgender youth, can it? All right, let me check some more. Okay, so Sudpet says, yep, Mark, look at all these young ones having plastic surgery. I already read that. Morris Stevens says, maybe the baby was created to be the love child of the two parents. in their minds that saw it as okay. In minds of people that don't have personality disorders, don't have a slew of different types of mental issues, of parents that are still working through their whole dysphoria, who are still dealing with things in life. To create a love child, to me, just says more validation of their presentation. The MTF wants to validate themselves as a mother, although they're not the ones carrying the baby. And the FDM is probably wanting to validate himself as a dad, although he's got a beard and he's carrying the child. Again, you're entitled to your opinion, and I welcome them, but I think differently. I truly believe that a lot of trans people do not love themselves when they're continuing to perpetrate the lie that's being presented. Stephen Crum says, I'm being inducted into fighting against society. I'm worried about it. I want to protect our Constitution, but I'm afraid I may lose my soul for doing it, Scott. And Supet says, you speak your voice, Mark. Thank you, Supet. Scott says, Severini, blow your trumpet, brother. And Stephanie Allen says 100%. Sue, Pat, you be you, Mark. We love your honesty. Thank you, Stephanie Allen. 100% Scott Severini says Stephanie Allen. 7 comes with guns, raises too much attention. Tated in for a cross hose. Silent kills will not bring the hordes. And Scott says, valid concern, I understand, with a heart. And Sue says, would you do something that feels so wrong for the soul? Don't fight. That's what they want. Fight and division. And Scott says, women in general are put down. Totally. They have been for the longest time. Suped says, any war is corporate war. Totally. And Simon Com says, I agree, Suped, but I had a connection with the source creator of all. And he told me that there would be battles between the light and darkness throughout eternity, and that there must be a balance. And that's that's totally what needs to happen. Balance. He told me to fight a good fight, and I think we all have to fight. Unfortunately, we do, Stephen. We totally do. And Scott says, Stephen, I never found true person in prepping live by the sword, die by the sword. So I died to this meat suit and their world. Fear porn. Yuck. Yes, brother. And Scott Severini says, I use my spiritual power to fight for my rights. That's the best sword, or spiritual power. Dottie says, Father, Mother, never would use violence, Stephanie Allen says. And Scott is calling. Yeah. Hello, brother. Are you there?
Scott Severini. Hello?
Hello, you're live, Scott.
What's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing? How's it going? You there?
Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. How you doing today, brother?
I'm not getting
today, man.
Doing good, brother. Doing good. Living in truth. How about you?
Right on, right on. Oh, I'm awesome. Hey, I just got a quick question for everybody. Do you believe that you can walk on water?
All right. So Scott has a question for you guys. I'm sure you heard him. Do you believe you could walk on water?
And that goes for you too, brother.
I believe I can walk on water, brother. I believe I can, because if the Christ walked on water and he said the kingdom of heaven is within us and we too will do greater things than I believe I can walk on water.
There you go. And that's why I tell everybody, it gets back to that belief thing. You have to truly believe. Now, the problem is, have I learned how to walk on water yet? Not yet. But I truly believe I can walk on water. But getting back to I just want the why I put that in, the women under attack since the beginning. I think the whole transgender movement, the whole lesbian, everything, all that was put into motion just to further attack the divine femininity.
Exactly. I truly believe that.
Basically, what they're saying is, well, you as a woman over there, and we've touched on this on your shows and in the chat room about, the nursing and the caring, and you talked about that today. To me, that's the part of the divine femininity that the male will never possess. I mean, you can do whatever you want, say whatever you want, go through all the changes you can get, but just gets back to living that lie. Are you a male or are you a female? You know, if you're a male, then you're a male, and they make it hard on everybody because they dumb you down. It makes it easy to confuse. And just being a loving man like I am, a lot of people through my life have attacked me, called me, you know, homosexual slurs and all this stuff, and it has nothing to do with that. You know, my love for a brother doesn't have to be physical. It's all about vibration. There again, love is a word. Just like you can be attached to this world and carry a vibration that's too low because you're attached to this world, the word love is attached to a high vibration. It is still a word that can be put in a box and used against us, but it is attached to a high vibration, and we carry that vibration.
Totally.
So everything is about the vibration. You know, how many times do people walk around just saying, "Oh, I love this, I love that," and do they genuinely have a love for that, or are they just saying that?
I know.
You know, there again, it's just a word, you know, that they can use against you, and if they confuse you and they mix your love up, well, you know, now anybody can be anybody, and all those people, you know, it's just, you know, and that's just my belief, my opinion on it. You know, I know you've walked a personal life there, and kudos for you for coming on and talking about that and letting people know your feelings on that. It takes a lot of strength, and I I have lots of praise for you, brother. But I just wanted to call in, throw that out there, because, you know, your whole show talking about, you know, the lies and living in the truth. I mentioned earlier about how, like 4 days I've been experiencing that hard. And quite honestly, you know, it's kind of funny because the people who are attacking me, we talk about you can love and raise somebody from a distance, and that's true, but the true negative, if you're carrying a high enough vibration, when those negative energies come at you, they will get up and leave the room when you walk in, or they'll try to attack you from, like, say, across a parking lot, so to speak. And they're not even in your quadrant. They can't come near you. They can't touch you.
Exactly.
And that's just how it is. But I just want to give you lots of love today, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
Shout out. What's that?
Appreciate you so much and love you, brother. Love you very much. And thank you.
I'll let you get back on with your show now.
All right.
Have a good day, man.
You too,
Go
brother.
walk on some water.
All right.
I love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye. Thank you, Scott. God, I love to hear him. We have such connection, him and I feel his love. I do. Like, I feel all of you. I feel all of you, and I love you all so very much. Emily says, let me see. Emily wants to call. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Hold on here. I just thought I was putting the number there. I want to see where I could find the number. I thought I had it copied. Now I have to go all the way. Or I'm going to have to go in here, find the setting. And it's 575-265-0538. Ooh, that's the number to call, Emily. Let me, right, there we go. So, yeah. So this is going to be an article that I'm going to continue tomorrow, because I want to read the rest of the comments and take the call. But there's a lot of hidden stuff with this trans agenda and why it has ballooned the way that it has. It's crazy, but you guys are gonna be like, whew, you know, and this is why it's taken off the way that it has. There is an agenda. And I've been speaking about this agenda for the longest time now. Eugenics, there's a trans agenda. People don't want to believe it, but the truth is in the pudding. The link, if you want to read the article completely, it's in the description area. Let's see here. Emily, please do call the area code 575-265-0538. And let me take a look at some of the comments here. Oh, there's the call. Emily. And Emily's on the line. Can you hear me, Emily?
Yeah, Yes, I can hear you, Mark. Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Love you all.
Love you. We love you
I know
too.
Excuse me?
I said, we all love you too.
I have a story, guys, and I really hope this helps you also, Mark.
Okay.
And I know you're struggling with sadness too. But I just want to share this with everybody to show how faith works. I have a lot of prophetic dreams and revelations from the Father. And this morning I had a really disturbing dream. And I want to kind of explain it to you guys so you can understand how my faith works. And there's other things tied to the dream last night. But I'll just go with the dream if you guys are okay with hearing that.
Yes. All right.
Okay. Okay, so in my dream, it's an awful dream. Sorry, I just had it today, so I'm still processing some of the feelings. But in my dream, there was two demons, and one of them held me down on the ground, and they were very tall, so he pretty much just had to put his foot on me, and I was on the ground, and I'm only 5 feet tall, and I'm a small person, so it didn't take much to get me down. But the demon in the dream was talking to another gentleman, and he said, she's part of the plan, and if you don't do this, he was pretty much threatening the gentleman. And in my dream, my first response was, brother, find Jesus Christ. He's your Lord and Savior, and instantly this demon left me and left my side. And I just want to express that.
Wow.
Wherever you're going in your journey, it's your journey. But even in my consciousness, I'm praising the Father. And even when I knew my life was at danger. And I'm going to tell you how I know what was going on, because I could smell them in my dream. The smell was horrible. It was vile. It was just really disturbing. So I just want everyone to know there's hope through this. And even though we're all experiencing loss and sadness and on our own level, that the Father does love us, and we don't have to be confused about that, and whatever way you can find that peace in your heart, it's probably a good time to do it, because I'm doing a lot of this battling, subconsciously in my dreams and in real life, and I just want everyone to know how much I love them and care for them, and the Father does also.
We love you too, Emily. And it's important to realize that, yes, we all have different names we call our creator, whether it's mother, father. We all have different beliefs. But as long as you believe strongly in your heart, that's what's going to save you, because whatever it is, it's our personal relationship with the creator, mother, father. And that strong belief is what's going to allow us to be saved and to push these dark entities away. I had a terrible astral projection, whatever it was, a few nights ago. And, I battled these demons that try to get in my presence. And actually, Lena recorded a little bit of it, but toward the tail end of it. But I literally, you could hear me speaking a lot with authority, get out, things of that nature, because I'm not afraid.
Yes, brother.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of them. And I've been battling them since I was a kid.
Wonderful?
Yeah, it is. It is. And people need
such a freeing moment.
It is, totally. And people need to be empowered and realize that mother, father, whoever, if you want to just call it father, whatever it is, that belief and that connection, you need to create that connection, and you need to believe with all your heart and soul. And it's not about the worshiping, and it's not about what the Bible teaches us to be so subservient and all. It's not about that. It's about love, and love. That's it.
So true, powerful. Because even in my dream, I remember looking at the other entity, and with all love, I looked at him and I said, brother, like I knew whatever they were going to do to me in my dream was going to be awful, right? But at the same time, just being able to give that compassion and understanding, even as, something is attacking you or trying to kill you, And I mean, it amazed me when I woke up. I was like, Father, even in my consciousness, you're on my heart. You know, like nothing's breaking that connection. And the funny thing about it is I don't read the Bible. I've done this all on faith. I listen to it, and I love hearing everybody's point of view. But last night, because I started coding this weird, I've been coding lately, and I don't know why, but that's another story. But when I did a code last night, it was the Father, and it said, daughter, your faith has restored you.
Beautiful.
And that was one of the codes that came through. So, I just say, take your personal journey and the things that you're seeing and the love that you're receiving, and it's your walk, most definitely. But there's just some crazy stuff going on lately. And
there is.
It's not always easy to have discernment,
But it's exciting times, and I believe we will prevail. I'm looking forward to what's happening and what's going to lie ahead. And it's just, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I just wanted to pop in and say hi to brothers and sisters. I love you all dearly. And Mark, I hope you have a wonderful day today.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you so much.
Whatever's bothering you, troubling you, that goes away, so you can just be at peace today, brother.
Thank you, sister. Love you so very much. Thank you.
I love you guys too.
Love you.
You guys have a wonderful day.
You too,
Bye.
Emily. Bye-bye. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, that's what it's all about. Providing love and strength to one another. And that's why I want to go out there and meet every single one of you and gather and share our dreams and share our pain and share our love and share our happiness, break bread together, dance together. Just bring so much love that the dark side ain't going to know what to do with itself but to become love and light. So as I say during those astral projections, during that dream stage, get out. You don't belong in me. You don't belong here. And if you want to be part of us, you've got to be part of us. And you've got to be love and light. And we will do this, family. I promise every single one of you, we will do this. There's no other way but to love, to be in love, to accept who you are, to lift yourself up, to understand that these meat suits are but a lie. We created them out of disorientation, out of confusion, out of whatever it is that we made this reality take place. But the time to go home is now. The time to be with mother and father and with each other as one big loving family is now. All right, guys. I love you so much. I'll be back on at 5:30 this evening. I got to go to the gym and work some of this energy out and just, because it's important. Balance, sleep, eat right, work out, meditate, manifest, pray if that's what gets you through the day. Whatever it is, there's no wrong way of doing it as long as you're doing it in love and as long as you know where you come from. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Remember to share, subscribe. If you can donate, please do. If you can, it's okay. Just your presence is enough for me. And I love every single one of you. Thank you all. Citizen Soldier, love and light, brother. Thank you for joining. Sorry you tuned in a little late, but I will be back on at 5:30. Citizen says, Father is removing panic from our minds and restoring our hearts. Stay in spirit, soul always. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Love you all so very much. Every single one of you. But remember to always, not just sometimes, always love yourselves too. This is a new little ending I put together, similar like the other one, but I put more pictures of my journey because it's been a journey. And I want to share that journey with you guys. Love yourselves. Love yourselves, please.